Hey, friends, let's podcast.
You're going to like a lot of the stuff in today's podcast.
What makes you so sure?
Well, first off, good yawn, by the way.
Still going. Okay, I'm back.
I think I like the most the hot dog fillers which was today. I also enjoyed our look at horror movies and what you should do. So that was good, too. Mm-hmm. And there's just lots of other fun stuff.
Yeah, I'll tell you what right now. There's Christmas news in here that's going to blow your mind. Big time.
Including a call of action to get you to go to find Obadiah's tweet and make sure you like or favorite today.
We talk about my emotional support animal. We talk about gaming phones.
Narwhal. That was just as good, especially the last part.
Oh, because Nikki thought it was funny to laugh at cruelty to animals.
No, only your stuffed animal.
See, that's not cool. It's okay if it's Obadiah's animal. You can be mean to it then.
Oh, my gosh. It would just be amazing if someone did that.
Well, look, you guys enjoy the podcast today. Remember, you can always catch up with us when we're not on by finding us on Twitter or Facebook. And you can find links at riot.radiou.com.
You can actually text us if you want to, 877-2-RADIO-U. Just put your name and just put, hey, for the Riot podcast, and we'll see that too.
Yeah, probably going to be an Obadiah Plays today. I didn't include it in here, but one of the things I've been doing is working on trying to get kind of like everything at my house set up so I can stream a little more easily. And I'm supposed to get my new camera today. And so
you might just have an Obadiah Plays.
Fingers crossed on that one. Mm-hmm. We'll see. So you guys have a great day, and we'll see you later.
Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.
Awful, terrible, horrible, pathetic. Someone grab me a thesaurus. I'm going to need more words to describe how bad these guys are. It's the worst of the riot on RadioU.
Let's dance!
Good morning, everybody.
How are you guys? Good. Me too.
Good to hear.
So excited. Probably going to pass out at any moment now.
Is it that good?
Okay, I just want you to know that
yes.
I got so distracted by the music that I don't remember what I was going to say. And I'm not just saying that. I don't remember. Oh, now I remember because I smelled it again. Okay, I came in the studio this morning and it smells funny in here.
Mm-hmm.
But I woke up at my house this morning and I was like, what is that smell? So that's two places where I think it might not smell.
It's just something's in your nose.
Is that a thing?
Could be.
Can you get something stuck in your nose?
Do you think it's like allergy or like it's the mucus or something?
Oh, gosh, what if it is?
Could very well be it.
Can you smell your own mucus? Let's Google that. That's so weird. Can you smell your own?
Not saying you're sick, because you're not. You seem fine. But if there's something in your nose, that could be what you're smelling.
First response.
Yeah.
Your snot smells. If there is a very foul-smelling mucus from one side and pain or fullness in the cheek sinus, this could be a sign of an infection that is spread to your sinuses.
Oh, nothing to worry about.
That's
it's fine. Close it out. You're fine. Don't read any more then.
Oh, okay. No, I got to tell you, like under their suggested questions, Nikki, you're going to love this. Why?
Should you read it?
Dude, if you are Googling this, go to the doctor. All right? Just right now, before I read it, it's doctor time. Okay? Why?
I know you feel uncomfortable, but you're going to have to go.
I want you to have to ask another human being. I want you to have to look another human being in the eyes and have to ask them this question.
What this Google search is?
Why does my mucus smell like poop?
Okay, well, now at that point, yes, you are going to go see your doctor. You are right away. In fact, you know how sometimes you have to go and they make you wait forever or you have to wait weeks and weeks and weeks? They're going to let you right in.
Oh, my gosh. These Google suggestions are so good. Can you smell your own boogers? Why do I have a smell in my nose? How do you smell your own breath? How do I get rid of the poop smell?
Stop doing it. Just close it out.
Oh, my gosh.
Does that answer all your questions?
No, but after a few clicks, all of my questions will be answered.
And you realize that just because you have a weird smell in your nose, it's not as bad as it could be.
Things could be a whole lot worse.
It really, really could.
Oh, boy, Google, you've managed to really reassure me this morning, and I appreciate that.
Problem solved, and that's why you then don't have to go to the doctor. It's not so bad.
It's fine.
We searched for something positive to say about the riot and finally came up with one word. Consistent. Consistently terrible, but still consistent. RadioU.
I don't know if you guys are familiar with my emotional support narwhal.
You have a little stuffed narwhal that two lovely listeners sent you from Amazon one day after a topic and conversation that we had. And he's just been over there. What are you going to do with him?
Well,
okay, he stays here. Is he going to live here?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if he's going upstairs.
Live here. He wonders why you keep coming by his house. That's what he would like to know. I just
didn't know if you want to take him to your desk or something, or is he staying over there next to you in the studio?
Somebody has to guard the mac and cheese candy canes.
True, and it's Narwhal's thing.
Because I'll tell you what, Zach and Hudson keep looking at him. And so this narwhal lives there, and he makes sure that they don't touch it.
Hi, Narwhal.
Hi, Nikki.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Good.
I hope you find your dad.
Great. That's the joke we'll always do.
He says that a lot.
All the time. That's his catchphrase.
It's like when you say radio, our music is going. He's like, I'm a narwhal. Hope you find your dad.
It's just what he says.
Make sure you subscribe to The Insider. Okay, so, Nikki, narwhals, I don't know if you know this, but if
they're real.
They're real. They should be fake, but they're real. But if you're having any kind of a health concern of any kind, the cure for your health concern is to cut off a narwhal's tusk and grind it down to powder.
It's unfortunately what a lot of people...
It's the answer.
That's the answer. And it's just no, don't do that to the animals. Please don't. But who does this?
That's illegal. They say about 50,000 narwhals
Cover
left.
Narwhal's ears. He doesn't want to hear this.
Oh, no, Nikki, he's an activist.
Oh,
he knows all about it.
He needs to hear this?
Yeah, so there are about 50,000 narwhals left, they believe, in the world, which is a lot.
Well, I guess, is it or is it not?
Call me when they're down to 100. I'm not worried. But no, there is a law in, actually, it's not a federal law, but it's in a lot of different states. But in California, and I believe also Alaska, it is illegal to purchase, sell, offer for sale, or possess
narwhal dust?
Ivory from animals with the intent to sell or import it. So apparently...
Narwhal counts in that?
There's little narwhal gets a little in there. So guess what? We got some guys here that have been arrested. This is crazy. They had 2 narwhal tusks.
Oh,
79,
where'd the body go?
79 and 87 inches long.
Whoa.
So apparently it was an antique store, which sometimes something like that, they get a pass. They get
from an estate or something like that. They don't know what they're doing.
But somebody went in to buy them for, how much do you think a narwhal tusk is worth?
That's a magical thing right there.
It really is. It has powers. Or so they say.
It's as close to a unicorn horn that we're going to be getting in our society.
So what do you think?
I would say $1,000 each.
Or come on, Nikki. You're
more than that. Lowball? 10,000?
60,000.
60,000 for both of them?
For both.
Wow.
So about 30,000 each.
So that makes me wonder, what could you sell it for then if you were actually grinding it down?
I have no idea.
Where does the money, that's a lot on its own.
But the person who came in and bought them, they were a game warden from California Department of Fish and Wildlife, and now the owner's going to the jailhouse.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Wait, the owner of the shop or the owner of the person who bought them?
Well, no. The person that bought them, it was a sting.
Gotcha.
Undercover, Nikki.
Oh, I see. Okay. So, you weren't allowed to sell them.
They were illegally fencing narwhal tusks. It's crazy.
There's a department for that.
And it just goes to show you, well, yes, right there. First off, there are cops that have jobs that you don't know anything about. They're
Never
out there.
Will know.
Did it occur to you this morning that someone might be right now, even as we speak, illegally trading in narwhal tusks?
So NCIS or one of those acronyms? We just need to make a narwhal one up? Yes.
You know what? I'd watch that one.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Because those are people I want to see brought to justice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, well, anyway, that's just a heads up. Anybody that gets any ideas about my narwhal or his tusk?
Don't cut it all. What? Oh, it'd be so funny if you came in one day and it was cut off. Not in real life. But in this world, if someone came in and cut off your narwhal That's so tempting.
What a stuffed animal, and it would be
It's so tempting.
It's not funny, Nikki.
Sorry, Narwhal. We're not going to do that to you, and not in real life.
Wildlife conservation is a serious issue, Nikki.
It's not funny. You are right.
I hope you find your dad.
Okay. Then it was like in the break room or something. Just found the tusk in there.
What's worse than finding grounds in your coffee? Finding grounds in your coffee while listening to the riot. It's the worst of the riot on RadioU.
So, Nikki, let's talk about our jammies.
Yeah.
What's your jammy game? Is it are they cotton?
Yeah, just usually comfy clothes, that sort
Silk?
of thing. No, not normally.
No? What
It's
about
just slide everywhere?
What about wool?
No, I don't like wool.
Okay. Well, you know what? Okay, wait a second. What do you have against wool?
It just is very itchy. Like
It?
I don't have an allergy to it, but it'll make me just have like little rashes.
But don't they have like wool now that's not itchy and they're all proud of it and they're out there like, hey,
No.
this ain't your grandma's wool socks.
No, that seems too fancy. We don't need that.
Okay. Well, I'm reading an article here by a guy by the name of Dr. Paul Swan. Mm-hmm. Dr. Swan.
Nice.
He's either a Bond villain or a very eccentric character in a Adam Sandler
Or just
comedy.
a doctor.
Or he's just a doctor.
Just a doctor.
He's just
wool.
a person who happens to be, yes. Sorry. He's a wool.
No one notices. It's fine.
Well, the thing is, these little throat clears, they're arresting. I couldn't keep going. I had to have a full-blown throat clear. And I don't understand why it's so funny.
It's not.
It's a normal biological function, and especially hazardous for those of us that speak for a living.
Yes, it's hard in radio.
So what you should really be doing is going,
Oh, compassionate, yeah.
oh, it must be hard to be him.
So back to Dr. Swan.
Dr. Swan says that wool is the perfect sleeping item. He says that wool pajamas.
Is this a sheep thing, like for sleep?
What, you think it's a sleep number by? No. But what he says is that with wool is actually the best fabric at regulating our body temperature.
Oh, okay.
It puts us in what he calls I can't remember he's got a specific term for it, the thermal comfort zone. And he says that this thermal comfort zone is the perfect temperature at which we sleep. And so this is wool, he says, is really good at that, whereas cotton, we have a tendency to be too hot or too cold.
I'd rather roll the dice. I'm not sleeping. I don't want wool.
Nikki, what if I told you it's the fancy wool?
Just feels...
Fancy wool!
No, it's not.
Fancy!
It's not nice. I don't want it.
I don't know. I don't know that I've ever owned a wool anything.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
The only thing I can think of that might have been wool, but I'm sure it wasn't, was a sweater I had in 6th grade that itched terribly.
Yeah, that's what comes to mind. You just think, well, that's going to be a miserable night's sleep.
Well, here's a quote. Maybe it's not a coincidence because wool regulates your body temperature far better, keeping you in what is known as the thermal comfort zone. Nikki, he says that it will help you fall asleep quicker, sleep longer, but also have a deeper, better quality sleep.
No, I'd rather put my phone down.
What is this, an Ambien commercial?
Yes,
like what?
It's like, if you'll just take 2 wool pills a day, you'll be able to sleep perfectly fine tonight.
So, but they did research in they had 17 students monitored wearing pajamas made of cotton or merino wool. And they did this with students between the ages of 15 to 25 and adults aged 50 to 70. And they had polyester, cotton, and the wool pajamas. And what they found is that they measured heart rate, skin temperature, humidity, and brainwave patterns. And what they found is that those were in wool enjoyed an additional 7 minutes more sleep.
Not worth it. Not worth it at all.
And they fell asleep faster.
Well, at Christmas time, your grandma's like, what can I get you? Wool pajamas, which is probably what you would go get her. You guys can just get the same pair.
You know what? I'm interested enough. I need that 7 minutes. So I want to try out some wool pajamas.
Okay.
But don't you feel like they're going to be expensive, though? They're like, well, if you want the nice wool, they're, very pricey.
Sure, I could see us just buying the blend where it's like wool, but it's not. It's technically has it in the name.
It's swool.
Yes, but it's
wool.
It's not 100% authentic, and
fake wool.
That's all we could afford.
Yeah. I mean, what are they selling at Old Navy or at the Walmart? What do they have? Because I can be honest, my nighty-night clothes are like my gym clothes. They're just whatever's left over.
They're leftover.
Wish the worst of the riot would never end?
Everything that has a beginning has an end.
What is wrong with you? Get our daily podcast through iTunes, Google Play, or the RadioU app.
Man, it is wall-to-wall good news in here.
What else do we have?
Dude, it's what you just sent me. This Snickers.
That's the candy bar choice if we had one. But this sounds pretty good.
I do like a good Snickers.
And you like almond butter.
I do. You know what? I just had some almond butter toast not 30 minutes ago. And it's... you know what? I realize, I like peanut butter, but once you get used to almond butter, going back to peanut butter is like, it's too sweet.
Sure.
And it's, I don't know. I really genuinely like almond butter. I get the kind from Costco, and I know what you're thinking. Obadiah, almond butter is too expensive. Now, here's the thing. Not at Costco. At Costco, it's not. It's around the same price as peanut butter. It's a little more expensive, but the thing with almond butter is that you don't eat as much of it because it's powerful. So you don't really need...
It's a workout because it's got this weird oil thing on the top, so you got to stir it up every time.
You got to work for it.
It's a lot.
Though, okay, while we're talking almond butter, just a complete side note, and then I'll get to the Snickers. If you ever buy Jif almond butter at the store, it's very good, but it's like $15 for 3 ounces, and it's hydrogenated or whatever, so it doesn't have the oil separation, and they're ripping you off.
Okay, well, noted.
Hey, I'm getting all my almond butter knowledge out there because people need
Thank you, Dr.
to know.
Butter.
All right, but Snickers has just announced some new candy bars. Almond butter, maple almond butter.
Doesn't that actually sound good?
Those are two things I love.
And then with the peanut butter one, so that is some of the new flavor tastes that they've got.
So this flavor, is it going in the nougat? Is that what's happening here?
Yeah, I think so.
It says it's swapping out the nougat for a nut butter filling instead. Mm-hmm. So they're dropping the nougat, and you'll get an almond butter. It's not going to be all almond butter,
and
though.
Guess which part I hate?
I know.
I mean, I like Snickers, but the nougat part is the bottom for me. It's the bottom of the barrel.
The nougat is filler.
So that will be starting January, 2019.
Wow.
And they'll be available in stores.
That's great, because when you get to the end of Christmas and you're trying to eat your feelings away.
Hopefully they come out earlier, though, because, in January is when you swear off the candy bars. You're like, no, these are not going to make me happy. It's a new year. It's a new me.
Hey, why don't we all decide in January we're not going to do that?
We say that every year before we get to Christmas. Then Christmas becomes so bad that in January, you just can't help but change.
Well, what if we, took a moderate approach to Christmas food, and then there would be room left for these Snickers in January?
We can try.
Nobody's doing that.
We can try our best.
I can already tell.
So again, Snickers in January, almond butter Snickers, maple almond butter, and peanut butter. So it takes away the nougat part and adds it in there.
I think that looks delicious.
So it might not taste completely different, but like Obi mentioned, they'll be smoother.
I want to try that. Bring those over here right now. Dude, my dad used to always take peanut butter and maple syrup and mix it up, and we would dip crackers in it.
Well, this is a lot like that. Just dipping a Snickers in it.
But now covered in chocolate. Well, we'll have one of those.
My favorite part of the worst of the riot, when they shut up and the music starts. It's the worst of the riot on RadioU.
Do you remember when I said we had wall-to-wall good news in here? And I talked about Snickers, and you were like, yeah, whatever.
Bring on the good stuff.
Dude, last night I saw something that got me legit excited, pumped about it. And that was a trailer for a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Called The Christmas Chronicles. Are you familiar with this, Nikki?
I am not.
The Christmas Chronicles is a movie coming to Netflix.
Yeah.
Starring Kurt Russell as Santa Claus.
No, you like Kurt Russell. He was in that one movie you like.
Big Trouble in Little China.
That.
Escape from New York. and on and on and on.
So what is it, like the Santa Claus, like the old movie, or?
I don't even really know. Like, I'm not entirely sure what it's about. It's Santa doing a lot of Santa things, and I think you could argue like, oh, this is just like every other Christmas movie. Here's Santa, but he's not the Santa that you think he is, and look at all this technology he's using to be Santa, and blah, 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 whatever. And I would say to you, shut up.
He's fine with it. Be quiet.
I don't care because freaking
it's
Kurt
Christmas.
Russell is Santa Claus, dude.
That is a very good casting, I feel like.
I love it. He's Santa with an attitude.
You like attitude.
They never do movies like that.
Not at all.
I'm excited about it.
Okay, when does it come out?
Thanksgiving weekend. What?
Yay.
What? It comes out on Thanksgiving Day on Netflix. I am going to... Okay, Thanksgiving Day is probably going to be the best day ever.
Do a run through.
Okay, let me run it down for you so far. Okay, on Thanksgiving Day, we're going to get up on Thanksgiving morning and eat donuts and watch the parade. Then something turkey, I don't know. And then the new season of Mystery Science Theater 3000 hits Netflix.
I forgot about that. Are you going to watch that first?
Well, I mean, that might take a while because you're going to get like 13 episodes. And then Kurt Russell is freaking Santa Claus in this new Netflix movie.
So the Christmas Chronicles tells the story of a sister and a brother whose Christmas Eve plan to catch Santa Claus on camera turns into a journey that most kids could only dream about. So they sneak into a sleigh, cause it to crash, and nearly derail Christmas, is what they're saying.
So I'm going to take a stab here that they need to save Christmas.
Everybody has to save Christmas after they almost ruin it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That sounds...
Does that not sound like Thanksgiving Day? It does.
It's perfect. Oh, my gosh.
I'm excited for you.
I'm
you got
excited.
a great day planned.
I'm excited. Kurt Russell, Santa Claus on the same day of New Mystery Science Theater. You know what? I'm putting the tree up early. Come on.
You want to make sure you're all done by then.
I want to be completely ready to watch the Kurt Russell movie. That's the most important thing that's going to happen on Thanksgiving. Family, something, whatever.
You don't have to worry about that.
Something, whatever. New Christmas movie. I was like, shut up and take my money.
Oh, you already do.
You're already taking my money. Okay. So go Netflix then, I guess.
They don't have to take any more.
No, I can just watch it.
The Riot has a problem with authority.
It's a little rule. Maybe you're not familiar with it. Nobody tells me what to do, ever.
You know, Nick, the news guy, reminded me of something very important, Nikki.
What was that?
Kurt Russell has played a very important part in this radio station.
He has?
Yes, because
we were talking about his new Netflix upcoming Santa movie.
He's gonna be Santa, Nikki. He is Santa, okay?
Dude, you sound just like the elf guy, that character. Santa! You sound just like it.
Well, it's not my fault. That's the spirit of Christmas coming out in all of us.
Out?
It is, but you've got to understand that RadioU is here today because of what you guys did during the fall fundraiser, right?
Yeah.
We're listener-supported, commercial-free. If you haven't given yet, remember, you always can at RadioU.com and click on Donate. But during the fundraiser, there was one voice that called us all together. There was one voice that said to us, we've got to start becoming a team right now.
Oh, is that Kurt Russell?
That was Kurt Russell.
Oh, what movie was that from?
I think it's from Miracle. The hockey movie, you know, about the
hockey team.
Yes, about the American hockey Olympic hockey team beating the Russians.
Yeah,
Nick, you got to start becoming a team right now.
Oh, and
wait.
We don't have Kurt Russell to lead us
right now.
Right now.
Yeah,
I like the hitting the desk for emphasis.
Well, you have to. Yeah,
is this Coach Obi?
No. This is me just reminding you that. I feel like, you know, I posted the Christmas Chronicles trailer on social media last night, and I feel like it did not receive the appropriate amount of love that it should have. I mean, I Instagrammed me cooking broccoli.
And you got more?
And people are like, heart, haha, funny, heart. I put the Christmas Chronicles up, and people just swipe left.
Well, because...
Or right. Or down. No. Something. They swiped by it. I'll tell you that right now.
No, what happened is because that's them having to watch something. So that's not an immediate thing.
Listen.
It's we'll watch it later. And then they just probably never got back to it.
When they saw the picture of Kurt Russell with his arms crossed, dressed as Santa, they should have been like, this is the best thing that's ever happened.
So I must retweet or like.
I love this. And I'm so happy that Obadiah reminded me of it.
Sorry you didn't get the attention from that post that you expected.
Guys, Christmas Chronicles. The only way it succeeds is if we start becoming a team right now.
Hit the desk and all.
You know what?
And if you don't, then you don't like Christmas. And if you don't like Christmas,
then you don't get anything.
He sounded just like grumpy old man there.
What? I'm just telling you.
Get off my lawn.
You either start supporting the things I like or you get nothing.
Or we are turning this show around.
The Christmas channel's canceled.
Oh, don't take that away from people. That'll be coming, closer to Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. We're not taking that away from you. He's not allowed to.
Well.
But he's just going to have a bad attitude while doing it.
It's fine. You guys can listen to me spend 3 hours on the Christmas channel talking about how naughty you are. You want to go on the naughty list?
Make you feel better if you go to Obadiah RadioU
on Twitter.
And if you could just show a little love to that post
just
about the Santa Chronicles,
it's not going to hurt you.
That will make him stop.
We shouldn't have to ask.
It should just happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm sorry it didn't. Maybe it was just a weird time for the tweet.
You could be learning jiu-jitsu right now, or how to drive a race car, or do anything productive with your life, but no. You're listening to the worst of the riot on RadioU.
Did you see last night what Kylie Jenner said on Instagram?
I did not. What did we miss out?
This is so crazy. Kylie Jenner says that, it goes like this. Back in July, one of the probably biggest, most world-shaking announcements that I heard was she was going to stop using artificial lip fillers, which is exactly what they say about my favorite hot dog brand. They're like, no artificial fillers. So
actually, it's still lip fillers.
Okay, what
it's just
what
animal
does
lips.
Kylie Jenner and my hot dogs have in common?
Oh, did she get lip fillers again?
Then yesterday, out of nowhere, she instas out and she's like, hey, thanks to, and she talks this company, so I'm sure it was paid for these last minute fillers.
Oh, well, sometimes you just can't quit something,
Yeah. Don't I know it?
Okay. Just like your hot dog.
I know it.
Quit the hot dog.
I find myself, I'm like, no more hot dogs, guys.
And you know what's in there, and you know it's bad, but you just get used to that type of hot dog. You're used to the fillers.
That's actually it, right? You say to yourself, no more of these hot dogs with fillers. Then you end up
know it's bad for you.
Some weird 100% all beef whatever, and it's got that.
It doesn't look the same.
It doesn't. It doesn't cook up the same. It doesn't anything the same. And then you find yourself like, you know what? Forget it. I'm back on the fillers.
That's it.
I'm back.
And then you post a picture and everybody's like, oh, you look great again. That's a great looking hot dog.
Man,
I'm sorry.
So there's a rumor floating that Kylie has found an all natural filler. But I'll tell you what, that is just a stepping stone back to artificial fillers.
It is. That's what you say when you're lying.
Yep.
Because you don't want them to know that you fell off the filler wagon.
My favorite thing about this entire article and the entire reason that we're talking about Kylie Jenner's lip fillers at all, aside from the hot dog analogy, which
is spectacular, by the way. That'll change your way of thinking.
There's a connection there. There's a connection. Is this, and I love this, is that according to this, Jenner will be...
You're not supposed to laugh when you're saying it.
All right, fine.
Let's be serious.
Jenner is going to be addressing her decision in her forthcoming video about her lip filler journey.
Oh, like on YouTube? She's doing a video?
Yeah. Lip
you get
filler
a documentary
journey.
for your lip fillers.
And that's in quotation marks, lip filler journey.
Hey.
There are so many of us that are, fighting to overcome so many things in our lives. There are so many of us that are just trying to survive. We're dealing with depression, grief, making positive changes, doing the right thing, all this kind of stuff. But I want you to know, in the middle of all of that, your journey, Kylie Jenner's on a journey too. Okay? She's on a journey. She's on a lip filler journey. And it's serious, guys. And hopefully...
Maybe it will be. Maybe we just don't know. What if
Well, you know what? The whole thing, I'm sure that what we're going to do is you're going to watch it and somebody's going to dismiss it as pop culture tripe and really nothing but a thinly concealed ad. But I would challenge you that what it may actually be is a deep think piece that you've got to look. You can't look at the surface. All right, you got to see what's underneath. You got to go under the filler. Okay, because
which title, by the way,
under the filler.
Oh my gosh, that could have been the documentary.
I started asking myself, who am I without the filler? If everybody loves me with the filler, will they love me without the filler? But see, it's analogous to our own personal journeys. Okay, this whole thing is a metaphor. All of it is. So when you see it, and she finally finds the organic filler that she's looking for, I feel like you're going to come out of that going, that's what I'm looking for.
I want fillers too.
I need an organic filler for this thing in my life. Now, can I get a hot dog or what?
No, that's what we're really taking away from this.
I want a ballpark hot dog. I want to go to a game and get a dog.
Suddenly, the lunch sales for hot dogs today are just going to be amazing.
Wow. You know what, Nikki? I think you and I should make a video about our lip filler journey. Or maybe our hot dog journey.
Can't forget that one lady I met. She's like, oh, yeah, you don't even notice. It looks so natural. I was like, no, I can notice. That hot dog.
It looks like, did you get a bee sting on that side of your lip?
What happened? You need some ice.
There are pros and cons to everything in life, except for the riot. Here, it's no pros and all. It's the Riot on RadioU.
You know, Nikki was on vacation last week, and she comes home and she's whining like, the flight was so long.
Yeah, I had a long flight.
How long was it?
Let's see. The longest one, the first one was 4.5 hours.
Okay.
And then another hour and a half. There was some winds. There was some weather.
Lightweight, Nikki. Lightweight.
I know. There's been longer, but I just wasn't, like, the Wi-Fi wasn't working, and it so sounds bad, doesn't it? It does, doesn't it?
It does.
You know what? I wasn't just frustrated about that. I feel like the flight crew was also upset about their lack of Wi-Fi. So,
Well, I'll tell you what, Nikki. Compared to my 19-hour flight over the weekend, nothing.
Hey, that was your sleep. That doesn't count.
I'm talking about the flight that it's actually getting ready
Is this
to
the one
happen.
where it's the longest one?
It's the world's longest flight, 19 hours.
I wonder what you do to, like, pace yourself to make it through that flight. You must be so bored.
You go from Singapore to New York City. So this plane that's going to do this flight for Singapore Airlines, specially designed. So it has larger windows than normal.
That's nice.
It has no economy seating. There's economy plus, but it's not an option. Like, they're not shoehorning you in.
That's the economy that they offer.
Right.
So it's a little bit more space?
Yes. The ceilings are higher than they are in a normal plane. And let's see, what else do they have? It has 2 flight crews because they have to have a break in the middle. There's a special wellness menu that they say is loaded with food, some of which is organic, that will minimize the amount of, and I'm not making this up, gas and or indigestion that you might have on the flight.
Well, yeah, because sometimes you're like, well, do you want this bag of snacks or that bag of snacks?
And they're like, no. Like, none of that. This is going to be like, do you want this kale? We also offer kale with a little bit of salt on it.
That might upset your stomach, actually.
Well, it is actually a very strong food.
It might be a bit harsh.
You got to be careful with
We're
that.
looking at some nuts.
So
perhaps a cheese tray.
161 passengers, 67 in business class, 94 in premium economy, they call it. Plus, you'll have access to movies the entire time. They say that it is a 7 weeks worth of films that you'll have access to on the flight.
So Olivia just texted a 15-hour flight from JFK to Johannesburg, took a sleep aid, and then watched a bunch of movies. Yes, Olivia, but what would happen with us is if that was our plan, that's when it's like, well, the sleep aid, oh, it's funny, that kept me up. And then that's when the internet would also be, the Wi-Fi wouldn't be working.
Yeah.
It's like, you can't plan. You have to have something else.
If you were on a plane and for 19 hours, you're not, it's just you, what would you take to sleep on that flight?
Like what sort of pill would I take?
Yeah, like what?
What's that liquid Z stuff that's like, it's not cough medicine?
You know what that is? It's Benadryl.
Benadryl? I'm not supposed to take Benadryl. We'll have to find something else.
I didn't believe him at first, but it's true. That NyQuil Z-Quil, that's not cough medicine. It's just a sleep thing. If you look, it's Benadryl. You're drinking Benadryl. That's all it is. Which,
like,
you have
to.
Okay.
I just would want to know, when am I supposed to take something? Because you can't be so impaired. You got to get on the plane in the first place. So you got to figure out when you start working.
At 19 hours,
you got some room to
you really could take something, because if it's a 3-hour flight, it's like a red eye. You can't take anything, because on the other end you can't get up. You're dying. Maybe I've experienced it. But on this 19 hours,
you got a lot. You'll be free and clear by the time you land.
You got time for 2 sleep aids.
Well, we don't have a 19-hour flight planned anytime soon, so I think it's not really worth us worrying about.
Oh, man, we got hours in this studio. But you know what?
That's a work day.
I know,
and we're allowed to walk around.
Wouldn't you love to sleep through our work day? Wouldn't that be fantastic?
Okay, you got to know when to take the sleep aid. When you start your work, when you get here.
I think it sounds fantastic. Though, if you want to know the truth right now, I don't feel like I need a sleep aid at all. I think I could just lay right down,
Like, why is this man laying on the floor of the plane? He sleeps better that way.
It's, you stretch it out. Just walk around him.
Yoga.
You're hearing it for the first time, and it sounds terrible.
It's the worst of the riot on RadioU.
That's one thing that bugs me about getting up in the morning, aside from, the sleeping and the showering and the wanting to go back to bedding and like all that kind of stuff.
Normal stuff, yes.
You spend a little time on social media, and of course that's the place where everybody's kind of screaming about what's on their mind. So now it's like, you got to get out and vote. Voting fixes everything. But in reality, they don't mean that they want you to get out and vote. They want you to get out and vote the way they want you to vote. And they have an agenda, right? Then you see your other friends that are screaming about this injustice and that injustice and this thing and that thing. And you know what it often leads to me doing? By the time I've been awake for about 30 seconds, I've been told about 10 to 15 things that are very important that I need to take part in. And my lack of action is in fact part of the problem.
It's a disappointment.
Yes, and I've got to do something. And the thing is, all 15 of those things that are being presented are pretty important. All of them deserve some time and effort. But I end up becoming so overwhelmed by all of these people showing me this thing that I'm supposed to do that I end up doing nothing at all. I'm just like, what I'd like to be is deaf to all of this. I can't fix...
Because you just can't handle all of it?
I can't fix global warming, end sex trafficking, get registered to vote, go on the march, be a part of the protest, stop, like on and on and on. It's like, man, I just can't. And plus, and then it's like all the different places that are like, well, if you could just give $5 a day. If I gave $5 a day to every place that asked me to give $5 a day, I'm out. And I wouldn't even be through the first 15 things yet. So you end up doing absolutely nothing. And to me, and again, could just be me, it leads to, I think, sometimes too much of a hands-off approach where I'm so overwhelmed with the good I'm supposed to be doing according to everybody that I don't do any at all, So here is the thing, I feel like, for each and every one of us. We can't fix the world, but what can we do in our space for our world? Now, that actually becomes a better question, because it's not about, hey, what are the 15 things that you think are important that I should do something about? What should I do in my own space? But even that can be a hard question.
Sure.
Just take a look around campus at all the different organizations you could be a part of that deserve your time and effort. Well, man, this is getting even more complicated. It's actually not. Do you know what the answer to this really is? You are you. You've got certain things that you're passionate about, certain things that you care about, and certain things that you're gifted to do, things that you were made to do. And one of the best ways to figure that out is to start a relationship with God. God doesn't want us sitting on our hands. God wants us to contribute to the world, to love other people, to be a part of solutions. But it's too big for us to do it all. There's just one or maybe two things that we need to do. And when it's hard to make that choice, God's a great place to go and say, God, all right, I know I'm supposed to do something. What is it that I am supposed to do? And if you don't have a relationship with God, well, how do you even start that? Man, start in a relationship with Jesus. God knew that you and I needed help, and he did something. And Jesus is all about that. He wants to be a part of your life. He wants to fill you with his spirit. And you can ask him questions like, hey, what should I be doing today? and just say, Jesus, I want that. Come into my life. Fill me with your spirit. I know that I need to do something. Show me how to live. Show me what to do. And man, God wants you on his team, and he wants to help use you to make the world a better place. Not everybody else. You don't have to do what they do. Just talk to God about what you can do.
The Riot with Obadiah.
Them honey buns and Cheetos done caught up with me.
The Riot with Nikki.
Yeah, she's a liar, because I don't know her. So whatever she says is a lie, so...
The Riot, RadioU.
This is kind of a weird one, right? Did you see that Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter was back in the news?
No, what for? For the book or the movie?
NBC is developing...
Oh, not a TV show, are they?
Yes.
Well, we already closed that book.
But it's not going to be... It's like based on the show or the book and the movie, not actually like the...
Life events.
No, that's not what I want to say. What I'm saying is this will be more like a continuation of rather than a... there's a character in the Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter that is going... I guess it's in the book that'll be featured in the show. And it will be titled The Last American Vampire. And the series would be a thriller that follows Abby, a young analyst, as she's recruited into a special division of the FBI.
Because you always have to have a division of some group of people for an ensemble.
Let's see, a special division of the FBI that investigates unique and mysterious cases, like, I don't know what, the X-Files? Does that sound familiar? While working on her first case, tracking a string of bizarre murders, she discovers her new enigmatic partner is also a 500-year-old vampire.
Who happens to be cute.
Well, I imagine they will be.
Well, of course.
So, I mean,
I don't know. I mean, just call it a weakness of ours for some reason. Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, the book's great.
We did like the book.
The movie is so, at some points, it's bad, but it's still good to watch. Like, it's really, and it's convincing, too. We've mentioned it afterwards where you're like, well, I could see all that actually happening. And you're sad at that.
Nikki's like, it did happen. I saw it.
I can't remember like what's real history and what's not. You're like,
hey,
oh yeah,
that's a real problem. I
know
have.
it is.
That is a real problem.
Very difficult.
I find myself like, yeah, no, wait, that was when his son died. That was the vampires that did it, right?
It's like, oh nope, that's not real life.
No, that wasn't real.
This might be interesting.
But remember the thing with the train? That was real,
What's
right?
the saddest part is because it's NBC, I'm like, not really. But if you were telling me Netflix was going to do this, I'd be all over it.
I thought the same thing. I was like, well, it's NBC. It's not going to be good.
Oh, well.
So it's going to be executive produced by the guy that wrote the book. And then they've got a couple of other people involved in it. And it's not a guarantee. I guess they're working on it, and they're probably going to make a pilot out of it. So, and it's going to be produced by guys that produced it.
That's something.
So those guys...
They did a good job with that remake. Everybody liked that.
Yeah. I still haven't watched it yet because I value my sanity.
Well, now's this isn't the time to go watch it because it's too spooky out.
You guys have to understand, all right? I run early in the morning in the dark alone. And the last thing I need is to start seeing killer clowns out near the woods.
Well, if you haven't seen it yet, don't bother then.
Don't worry,
it would change your...
Change me?
It would change your ability to be running in the morning without thinking things are going to come out and get you.
Yeah. So it's best that I just don't. I feel okay, well, you know what I should do? I should start running in a big Abraham Lincoln hat. Because...
And an axe. No one will bother you.
If I was running in that Abe Lincoln hat with an axe, all of the scary creatures in the night would be like, no, it's him.
Yeah, but you'd be the one that then people are afraid of going outside to run in the morning because this guy runs around the neighborhood.
Wow.
With a big hat. They'd be more afraid of the big hat.
No, they would understand and be like, oh, he's out there protecting us from the evil ones.
He's the protector.
He's the protector. Yeah. Zach says, and I think he's right, it would make me run faster.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, because, hey, why are you running so fast? Clowns, man.
Every morning before you go run, you got to watch a scary movie just to get your PR up.
Just clowns. They're everywhere.
Like, I got a new best time.
Wow.
Starting your day with the worst of the Riot is a great idea because it's guaranteed to get better from here. It's the Riot on RadioU.
How seriously do you take playing games on your phone? I got to tell you, I don't take it very seriously.
Well, you have
I don't.
You have a healthy console life.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is
so
for
you
me,
mostly play games there.
Games on my phone would be something that I just do if I'm stuck somewhere. You know what the biggest problem with games on my phone is this show right here. Because what I do is when other people are playing games on their phones, I've got a special newsreader app that I use that if I've got 5 minutes of downtime, I look at the news and start archiving stuff to talk about on the show the next day.
It's for you guys.
So that takes my game time away.
Sure.
Which, like, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying.
But when you do want to play a game, you tend to sit down, put in a little bit more time at a console in front of a TV. You do it right.
That's what I'm here for.
You do the big setup.
That's what I'm here for. But, you know, a lot of people do game on their phone, and they do take their phone gaming seriously. And I've never actually looked at this, but Razer, R-A-Z-E-R, they are a gaming company. They make, like, gaming laptops and gaming accessories, and they make a phone. And yesterday...
But that wasn't the old Razer phone, was it?
No. That was a Motorola phone. This is a company, like a completely separate company, and they have announced their Razer Phone 2 that is specifically designed for playing games on. So I could go over all the specs, but I mean, if you really want the really big details...
I like this article. They're like, it's poised to be the gaming phone to beat. Didn't even know that was a category, but it is.
Seriously, I didn't either. I mean, the idea of, I know that, again, you know, people are playing Fortnite or whatever on their phone, but I just hadn't given it that much thought that I would want to put a ton of money into a highly specific one. But they say that they've done a lot of things, including like updated the way the phone cools so that it will keep the frame rates higher, keep your screen in better shape. It's got a pretty big battery in it as compared to even phones that have big batteries. This is a pretty big one. And let's see what else. It looks like it's platform agnostic. Doesn't believe in platforms or know if they even exist.
And how could you?
But I believe you buy it from them and then you can take it to whatever kind of phone company that you want.
They were saying that a lot of gaming phones, they're not as mature compared to the growth that we've had for just our day-to-day phones. Because, now they can finally start putting in some of the tech and making the gaming phone like actually be affordable,
right,
and actually show some improvement so you can like have a longer battery life.
Holy crap.
Did you notice the price?
Well, the price of the phone compared to the iPhone has raised the bar far, Nikki.
I know.
It's raised the bar so far.
I know.
That an $800 phone, you're like, it's not that bad.
That's pretty affordable. And that is a shame.
No big deal. The thing that I'm amazed by is they have also built a very specific phone controller. So it looks like an Xbox controller. What do you think this Bluetooth Xbox looking controller would cost?
Maybe that would be $50 or $60.
That's what I would think.
Kind of like a controller price.
An Xbox controller, a Nintendo Switch controller, whatever, they're about $60. $150 for this controller.
That's getting up there, but I guess people want to do that.
What?
So that is the new the Razer Phone 2, which is a gaming phone. And they said this will also be a big increase for China because it's one of the biggest mobile game,
Oh, yeah, sure.
area, since they've got quite a lot of games that people really are attached to.
It actually is bigger in Asia than it is here. That's true. But wow, $150 for the controller, Nikki. I mean, it's got a little mount for your phone, but
still, that's a lot.
I mean, come on, right? Yeah, that's right. Come on, give them the money.
So $800 plus the $150.
Yeah, so you're still under $1,000 compared to an iPhone. That's just nothing.
I know, it's inexpensive.
There are two types of people in this world, and neither one of them likes the Riot. You're listening to The Riot on RadioU.
Earlier this week, what did we talk about? There was a company that was launching a streaming service. Oh, I know what it was.
Yes, we did.
It was Walmart and Voodoo. They were working with somebody to create family-friendly programming.
Wasn't it MGM?
Yes, MGM. That was going to be available exclusively through Hulu. Or no... See? Voodoo. Now, the other thing I read was that apparently Apple, like their new TV service that everyone's talking about, the rumor has it that the TV shows and things they're creating, they're actually going to be, quote unquote, free if you have an Apple device. Mm-hmm. So, like, if you have an Apple TV or maybe even an iPhone, you'll be able to watch the shows they're making and that's just like free with your device purchase. So that way, I imagine they could raise the price of devices because they're so inexpensive now.
It's not like they're going to package it in with, say if you buy Apple Music or something.
So, hey, I got another one for you. AT&T's Warner Media announced yesterday it's launching a streaming service next year.
Get in line.
Yep. It's going to include content from HBO, Turner, and Warner Brothers.
I just
including
wonder...
a bunch of, of new, exciting, exclusive content they'll be creating for their own blah, 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 whatever.
Just wonder what sort of numbers, like say if you're on a show, and it's on this AT&T deal or whatever, what sort of numbers can you possibly bring in then? Because you got to whittle it down. Like someone who has the AT&T service, so that's not everybody. Mm-hmm. Someone who is going to take the step forward and watch it, probably not on a channel, but it's going to be on demand or something. So it's like, how many can you actually get?
I have no idea.
And is that worth it for the show?
Here's one of the things that I've thought is, over time, a lot of these services are going to be worth less and less to you because it'll be either
so many.
A, they'll all have the same stuff, or B, there's so many, you'll end up just subscribing to the ones that you want. But here's something that I've thought about, is that I have bought movies for years. I love buying Blu-rays. I've started buying 4K Blu-rays because I'm a bad person. And a lot of people have made fun of me. They're like, why are you bothering? That's on Netflix. Who cares? So here's what's happening. All of that stuff that used to be on Netflix and why would you ever buy it? Now it's all starting to be scattered among all these different services. It seems to me that it could be possible you could have a little resurgence of actually buying stuff because you're like, you know what? I'd rather just pay $10 and get Doctor Strange than have to pay $10 a month in order to watch it on whatever service it popped up on next year or whatever.
I guess they assume you're just going to buy the service anyways, though.
Probably. But
for these, some of these are so obscure. Like, I don't see for a show that is their own, content that I don't have any special feelings about, making me decide to go sign up with AT&T or Vudu or Walmart or any of that stuff.
It feels like, too, at least to me, I feel like every one of these press releases that I read, every single one of them mentions Game of Thrones. As if, like, that's...
You're going to get to watch that?
Well, no, like, they're chasing that money. Like,
sure.
there must be big Game of Thrones money somewhere, and that's what they're chasing on some level. Like, it'll be a prestige series like Game of Thrones. Just like, what?
Just no throne, no game, no dragon.
So,
what else
whatever.
will it be?
That seems to be what everybody's reaching for. But, yeah, one more streaming service, which brings the count now to 400 million and one. So everybody get out their credit cards, too, because you're going to want to subscribe.
Well, you don't want to miss out on the show that's like Game of Thrones.
We thought about selling the worst of the riot, but let's be honest, no one is buying this stuff. Get it for free on the RadioU app.
Nikki, it's time for the special...
announcement?
Well, it's the National Dog Poop Awards.
Aww.
Well, I'm sorry. You know what? I said National Dog Poop. It's actually the National Fecal Awards. Doesn't matter where it comes from as long as it ends up on the sidewalk.
Is this where when you're number 2, you're really number 1?
There's only number 2 in the Fecal Awards. So
gross.
We want to say a big congratulations to San Francisco for winning again this year.
Oh, just, normally for cities, it's an honor to be nominated, but San Francisco, time and time again, is the big winner.
San Francisco has 10 times as many complaints about human feces as New York and 20 times more than Chicago. That's amazing.
San Francisco is the city where I actually saw an adult man go number 2 on the side of the road while I was there. A stranger.
21,000 fecal complaints last year. That's 456 for every square mile of San Francisco.
I think what hurts the most is it's just so expensive to be there.
It is one of the most expensive cities in the United States.
It's crazy. And then you have such a big problem, but they've tried. I know they created, remember they did the, what were they calling it? Like the poop patrol where they were trying to hire.
They have a poop patrol. If you're in San Francisco, you can call 311 and complain about,
Well, what's hard is imagine you put all your money, all your effort, all your time into your business.
Uh-huh.
Not like that business, but like you run a business.
Thanks for that.
You're welcome. You just have to clarify sometimes. You're working hard. You got your storefront. You got your business. And then someone's doing their business in front of yours. all over the road and no one cleans it up, which is what a lot of companies have the problem and they're facing.
Yes, it is. And so what do? Well, you call 311, but they can't get around. It takes them like an hour to clear one incident, and they have 30.
It's actually better than I thought it would be.
Let's see. How many phone calls do they get per day complaining? 65 per day. And those are just the ones that are reported, of course.
And this isn't like, someone's dog.
No.
No. This is the other stuff.
These are the people's.
Oh, all right. Well,
the people's. So
not much else to say about it, is there?
I mean, I just want to say congratulations again to the people of San Francisco for really showing us the way. Like really, really doing that.
I just don't know how you could do that, but it is a problem if you ever go visit there. It is legitimately a problem.
Hey, Nikki, guess what I'm not going to do?
Not going to go visit there, are you?
Ding, ding, ding,
there
ding, ding,
it
ding, ding, ding. What I thought was funny, listening to a podcast, they were talking about this, and they're like, these are the same problems that you have in any major metropolitan area.
Not
it's
like
like,
that.
Guys, you got your head in the sand on that one because, yes, everyone has this problem, but when you have 25 times the complaints that they have in New York City, you got to figure something out. I mean, think about it. New York smells like a toilet. Come on. You got to do something.
The Riot spent their entire advertising and promotion budget on catering and craft services.
The junk that guy eats has finally caught up with him.
So please tell your friends. It's The Riot on RadioU.
One of the things that bothers me, I feel like in most horror films, is that nobody goes all the way in horror films. And you're like, no, they do. They're the ones that never make it. Nope, wrong all the way. Think about it like this. I just saw the trailer for the new Pet Sematary movie they're doing.
Yeah.
It's like a remake. It's based on the book.
Is that Stephen King?
Stephen King. And it's basically like, hey, there was a bunch of money on the clown thing for it. How many other books you got? Here's another one.
Everybody loves pets. Bring him in.
Come on, bring the pet back, whatever. And I'm watching the trailer, and I'm just like, you know what? Here's the thing. These people are like, what do we do? Let me guess. There's something evil in the forest, and you don't know what it is. Let me tell you what you do. I got two options for you right now. You chop all the trees down.
That takes care. Then where can you hide?
Where's it going to hide now? There's something evil out in the field, and nothing. It's got nothing, You're like, if the ground is bad, it's all right. Miracle Grow. We're going to put some topsoil down, and you know what? We'll just go ahead. We're going to get a rototiller and some topsoil.
Worst comes to worst.
We're just going to change this whole area.
You can make it a dump and just move somewhere else.
Whatever. It's fine. You just do that. Or did I say burn it down? That was my other idea.
No, that also works, too.
Just burn it down. Okay? And the same thing. You're like, there's a scary clown that's coming to get us, and the only way is to go underground in the ancient turtle, whatever. Nope, that's not it. Or okay, like that upcoming Halloween movie. I feel like that might be the first trailer where I've been like, now we're talking. Like,
Jamie
Lee Curtis's answer is, I've got so many guns. They're like, but he's immortal. Yeah, well, now I got 40 guns. And I got a bunch of guns. I mean, I'll tell you what, it really comes down to this. You nuke the site from orbit. It's the only way to be sure. And we have the technology.
We do.
We have the technology to take care of these things. But instead, their answer is always like, there's something evil in the forest, but I'll take my flashlight and go at night.
When there's an eerie fog out.
Nope. I'll tell you what.
Aww.
The only way that we're going to take out what's scary in the forest is to give it something to be afraid of, okay? You're the scary thing in the forest. And that thing's like, you're stuck in the forest with me. And you grab that thing and look it in the face and say, no. You're stuck in the forest with me.
You got all that from watching the new Pet Sematary trailer?
I did.
You did?
It's time, man. It's time for us to get serious about this stuff, Nikki. I am tired of seeing people victimized by whatever's in the forest. We're going to take down the forest.
Or the cemetery.
And we have what it takes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you right now, you can do equipment rentals at like Home Depot or whatever. Get some friends. Like, hey, what are you doing this weekend? Oh, there's something evil in the forest, so we're tearing the forest down.
But I got pizza.
That's what I was going to say. But free pizza.
Free pizza and anybody who comes out, okay?
And free pizza and soda. So everybody,
right.
Come on out. We're having a kill the evil thing in the forest party. Done.
Good times.
This is done. It's over.
Yeah, it's fixing the problem.
And instead they're like, here comes children with their little marching drum. Well, you're doing it wrong. So whatever happens to you, it's on your head. You did that.
He has given you the way to fix it. He's a problem solver. Problem solved.
You guys always think small. They're like, well, there are 3 of us. We'll go to Dracula's castle. Like, we're bringing the army. We're going big.
We're all going in?
I'm telling you, it's economies of scale. Like, you just got to make it big.
This was the worst of the riots, and we'd like to congratulate you on having the stomach to stick around to the very end. The riot exists because Radio U exists, and Radio U only exists because of your support. Find out more and give now at RadioU.com/donate.
I'm just going to start walking around naked. Like, that solves everything.